Hey guys, welcome to A Coastal Alive. I have a special guest. You guys should already know by now who it is. We have Trevor Cassaberry, CEO and founder of Cassaberry Consulting, joining me again today. We're going to be talking about 5 ways to use a book to keep your leads' attention. So we're just going to wait for him to join and then we'll get started. Oh, there we go. Awesome.
Back a little. What up?
Larry.
What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm all right. Excited. We cooked up a nice dish for the viewers today.
Yes, we sure did. I did a smaller intro, nothing crazy.
Yeah, might I add, we looking mighty good on this IG live.
Oh well, thank you, babe. You're looking very good on this IG live.
I said we.
I know you said we. I know you said we. All right, so as you guys know, we're going to be going live to talk to you guys about 5 ways to keep your leads' attention. And as always, like I say, I'll be coming from it from a publishing angle, and Trevor will be coming from it from entrepreneurship angle. And the one thing that I'm a Coastal reinforces is helping people write books, how to write books that sell. But like Trevor said, we have cooked up something that will be beneficial to anybody, especially those who want to learn how to use a book to keep their leads' attention, how to use a book to make sales, different things like that. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so there are the 5 ways to keep your leads' attention is creating content, running ads, holding webinars, sending email or text notifications, and having a product offer. And so I'm going to just detail the purpose of each of those things, and then Trevor will come in and give a real example using a book that we have both fallen in love with over the week, called Vegan But With Soul by Darius Williams. Trevor's going to show that in a minute. But we literally, yes, there it is. We literally, put ourselves in position to break down this cookbook. I got it as a gift from my aunt, and we were just thinking, okay, this could be the prototype that we use to literally give an example on what we mean by using a book to keep your leads' attention. All right, so the purpose of creating content is to creating content using a book. For example, we're using Vegan But With Soul. So the importance of creating content with this cookbook will be to show, 3 to 5 principles that you share with the book. So the book is about not eating meat. This is a book with recipes that are all plant-based, learning how to eat plant-based. And those are principles that people follow. The vegan wave is very big now, but within that wave, there are still principles that people live by, whether they're vegan or even if they're not vegan, and you want to show how this book aligns with your own principles. Trevor and I happen to be we live a more plant-based lifestyle, and so this book fits right into what we believe in. All right, so the next is running ads. You want to run ads to get new cold leads, people who will be seeing your services, your product, your content for the first time and interacting with you, so they can see, what you have to offer. People don't buy on the very first time that they see you, but once they do see you, then you become, someone that they are aware of, and that can potentially lead to a new client, a new customer. All right, the purpose of holding webinars is to show your outcome, show the outcome of your students who participate in your webinars and your conferences, who have, shared the same belief systems that you do, and now you can get a a turnaround on someone else getting that same value based off of those same 3 to 5 principles that you already live by. All right, and then the purpose of sending email and text is to get customers is to get your product in front of your customers again, right? It's for them to interact with your product and services, and you want to make sure that you're keeping them engaged in that way, sending out newsletters or sending out texts. And Trevor will go into detail of what are those things that you can do that will help you in terms of sending emails and sending texts. All right, and then the last one is a product offer, and the purpose of a product offer is to teach them how to implement the principles and reach the outcome explained in the webinars that you host. All right, so that's the technical aspect of marketing, and then Trevor will bring it home with physical examples using vegan but with soul.
Right. So great explanation, Akosua. So again, Akosua, we'll be doing these lives daily, right? Monday through Friday between Instagram and Facebook. Give us till next week to tell you guys what the actual schedule is, but just know every day we'll be doing one of these lives using a new book. But Akosua will give you the technical aspect of why you should be utilizing books to keep your leads intrigued and from forgetting about you. And I'll be giving you more of a how to implement it because, working with Akosua, I actually have used my book to implement these same 5 strategies. So number 1 is creating content with a book. So let's just start out with, a random person, right? So with a book like this, I would say, for a client of mine, I'll probably say somebody like Hassan, which is the owner of Gains Fitness, right?
Yes.
He's a personal trainer, and I would say some of the main qualities he preaches is getting all your macronutrients and staying in a calorie deficit, right? Because that's how most people who want to lose weight, which is most of his clients, can actually do that and then still have the energy to be functional and do their workouts that they have to do. So for those who don't know, macros are carbs, proteins, and fats. You have to make sure you're getting enough carbs so you have enough energy, enough protein so you're able to restore, expired or prior muscle tissue. And fat, I forget what fat is for, honestly, but you need the fats, right?
Yeah.
And then lastly, calories. So let's just think of that as just 4 principles, making sure you get those 3 macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fats, and then also that you're staying under a certain amount of calories every day so you can actually lose the weight that you need to lose, right? So we have our made-up client, Hassan, personal trainer, and his 4 principles that he teaches to his client. I would tell him use a book like this to keep his leads interested because there's a lot of personal trainers out there. A lot of them are doing the same kind of content where they're working out, they lifting weights, they're doing calisthenics, maybe they're doing stuff together. But how do you appeal to a client who is not, necessarily ideal, but there's still a lead who may come to you later?
Right.
Number 1 is creating content using this book. I would say the type of content he should create is taking the recipes in this book, because just because something's vegan doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy, right? Because there could be a lot of salt, a lot of fat, a lot of sugar in some stuff, a lot of carbs, whatever. So I would tell him to take the recipes in this book.
That was good.
Yeah, right. And calculate the macros and how many calories should be in a serving size. Even if he was just using it to get his own macros and his own calorie, goal for the dish, right? So he would calculate how it goes and what his serving size would be and things of that nature, because that would teach his viewers how to do the same thing. So 1, he still has his workout content, right? Because he works out multiple times a day. Right. But this is what would actually keep those leads from forgetting about him. They wouldn't just think of him as another one of those workout guys. They would think of him as that workout guy who taught me how to calculate calories and macros in a dish, right? And all he's doing is taking this exact recipe right out the book. There may be software online that he could just plug the info in, like one of those calorie tracking apps or something like that, that can give him the information, right? So that's the type of content I would advise for someone like that. Second, and if Hassan, you're watching this, you're more than welcome, although you do have a book, right?
He does have a book.
Second would be running ads, because he needs cold leads. At some point, everybody he knows about his services. Now he needs to get in front of the people who do not know him. They just know, him if he's walking by outside, right? How does he do that? I would say, again, use content from this book. So when it comes to ads, you pretty much got two pieces to it that I'm always going to stress, which is the content with, the picture or the video that's in the ad, and then the headline. Because if the content and headline aren't, working together and don't grab people's attention enough, they're not going to read the rest of your copy anyway. Right. So I would say he should use pictures from this book, stuff like this. I mean, what's this? Lemon scented caramel waffles.
Yes, they said most smartphones have calorie tracking apps now that calculate based on how much you are eating.
Right. Yes. So imagine Hassan using that app, showing everybody how to do that with all the dishes in his book, right? Because now it's a healthier book. He's telling people how to use the app that's on their phone and things like that. But as far as running ads, I would tell him to take the pictures from this book of food like this that looks like it definitely would not be healthy, and run an ad with, almost like a slideshow of those kind of pictures directly from the book. He would definitely have to credit the photographer in the ad.
Yes, the author and photographer.
Well, luckily for him, the photographer is the author. So he would have to definitely credit the photographer because he's using his images. But use those in the ad. And then for the caption, when it comes to the headline, you're going to need, it's always two parts to it. You need an action and you need an outcome. I always say lead with the outcome. Something I learned from Myron Golden. Lead with the outcome, because that's what people actually want. And then you tell them what they got to do. So if I told you, hey, you got to start lifting weights every day and then you could get in shape, don't sound as good. But if I say, hey, I can get you in shape, now you're listening to what you got to do. So that's the only reason you put it that way. So I would tell them, use, let's say, 5 pictures from this book, put them in a slideshow, and then the headline would be something like, what do I have right here? Stop gaining weight, eat food like this, right? So first thing, people will say, stop gaining weight. Who are you talking to? And then eat food like this. You're like, what are you talking about? Eat food like this? And I can stop gaining weight. And the reason I put it like that, another thing Myron Golden teaches is, if somebody's a cold lead, they don't trust you already, especially if you're trying to come sell them something. So if you try to tell them, I'm going to sell you something that's going to lead you to prosperity, they don't believe you. It's like you're a false prophet. But one thing most people will trust anybody for is leading them away from pain, right? So, for instance, if there's a homeless person outside and tells you, hey, I can show you how to get to Manhattan for $2. You're just like, nah, I'm good. I don't know you, da, da, da. But if he says, hey, there's a fire over here, you need to go that way, you'll listen to that homeless guy because he's leading you away from danger as opposed to towards wherever, you think your goal of prosperity. So, again, you got content, which will be showing people how to track the calories and macros of the recipes. Then 2, the ads, which would be pictures from this book and a slideshow and a caption that says something like, stop gaining weight, eat food like this. Next is the webinars. So in the webinars, again, it's going to be two things you're doing in the webinars, explaining your 3 to 5 principles. So in there, he will essentially break down what are carbs, why do you need them, what is protein, why do you need it, what are fats, why do you need it, what are calories, why do you need it, and then the outcomes of people now, since they know what those things are, implementing how he uses them and what has happened. So in terms of outcomes, he can use, he doesn't necessarily have to use testimonials at that point, although those work best. He can still talk about his own outcomes or just scientifically, what outcomes will happen from people following these principles. So if he's saying stay in a caloric deficit and make sure you get your macros, for some people that means that they lose weight. For other people, that means they gain weight. For some people, that means they lose inches. Some people, they'll gain inches, you know, on them, on the muscle mass. Some people will lose fat. Some people will gain muscle. Some people will alleviate back pain. Some people will sleep longer. You know, some people will be less stressed. So these are all the things he can talk about. And because he's not the only person with these principles, he can really talk about the outcomes that anybody has had associated with incorporating these principles. Because at the end of the day, it's about the principles being taught, not necessarily the recipes in the book, right? So he'll go through those 4 principles, and then the outcomes of what happens if people implement the strategies that he is teaching. That's all the webinars for. That's why they're usually free or very cheap to get in. Next, number 4 will be those follow-up emails and text messages. I say emails and text messages because a lot of people know a lot of your emails, if you are sending them out for your business, maybe getting caught in most people's junk and spam folder. That's why even when people opt into your site, it's best if you put something in your funnel or website that says,
check the spam folder.
I have mine there. I had it there for years. I made it bigger. I put it in bold. Some people still don't read it, or they see it and forget about it, but you need it there because emails go to the spam folder. But when it comes to text messages, everyone checks their text message right away. Now, I mean, most people don't necessarily, a lot of people forget to respond, but most people will still read it before they forget to respond, you know? So that's why text message marketing has been booming more and more. In order to incorporate either one of those, you can do it on ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels has their own, in-house email automation software, so you can do that without having an extra third-party thing. But for text messages, you'll definitely need a third-party provider and then link it. But yes, the client testimonials need to be, the follow-up emails and text message should just be full of testimonials. It doesn't need to be anything else. No one else, the person who went to your webinar doesn't need to know more features about your offer. They don't need to know more about your experience and what all you've done. And they don't need to keep seeing, your personal results. They need to just see testimonials. So there's 3 types of testimonials you can post. Testimonials from people who have already implemented these solutions that you're preaching in your webinar. So if you already have clients from that and have done it, if you have no clients from that, then obviously you use your own testimonials there. Secondly is testimonials from the book. So remember, a lot of the people, because they were cold leads or because you were creating the content and they were attracted to it, they would look at a book like this and always think of you. Even though you're not the author of the book, you're the person who put them onto the book, and you're the person who's been showing them how to utilize the book to get benefits. So you can actually send them book testimonials, because now people are thinking, oh yeah, that book, meaning Hassan. I'm gonna just keep using it. It's easier. So testimonials from implementing your principles, and testimonials from using this book. Testimonials from people reading the book, and then thirdly, testimonials from your other products. Typically, whatever upsell or high ticket product you're going to sell at the end of this, because if you got to think, if you're showing me diet stuff, but I'm getting testimonials that you're a great, personal trainer, it makes sense. You know what I mean? But it wouldn't make sense if, let's say, you're a plumber. Right? If you're a plumber, I don't need your plumbing testimonials going along with the book. So it needs to be a related product, obviously. But those are 3 types of testimonials that you can always throw into your follow-up emails, even if they're not necessarily yours. So anybody that has implemented those strategies, anybody that has read this book, and if it's a big book like something like this, you can just go right to Amazon and just put the reviews right off there. And then lastly, reviews and testimonials on your actual products. And then last thing is providing actual product, which is always going to be a bundle offer if you work with me. And pretty much, if you work with us. And in that bundle offer, there's 3 components that you need to have in it, in those follow-ups. You need to have the book. If you spent all of this time making content, running ads, having follow-up emails and webinars, or having something to do with the book, give the book to the person. Put it in your bundle. Mainly because now you get a marketing tool in their house that you didn't even have to write, because every time they see the book, they'll think of you, because you're the one who's been using it to keep their attention, not the author. So you need the book in the bundle. Secondly, you need some sort of digital content that they can keep going back to and referring to. So this may be, you know, some software online, or maybe a Facebook group or community that they could go to and get more tips from. Maybe it's a online pre-recorded workout DVD of some sort, whatever it is, stretches for nighttime and morning time, but something that they can keep referring back to whenever they need it. And then lastly, the third piece of your bundle offer needs to be your actual services. So your product or service, I work primarily with consultants and coaches, so it's typically you know, some sort of coaching package, but it also could be a course as well, right? So you can have a mini course as that, you know, content that they keep going back to, but the main product or service in there would be a high ticket or just a larger course that people can go to get more information directly from you, as opposed to pre-recorded videos. So that's the way that I would implement this book, especially, you know, if I was a personal trainer. Again, number one is content. You know, teaching people how to calculate the macros in the recipes and the calories. 2, running ads. Teach the personal trainer using pictures of the recipes from the book, along with the headline, "Stop Gaining Weight, Eat Food Like This." 3rd would be those webinars where you discuss those principles and outcomes of if somebody uses them. 4th, those 3 different types of testimonials that we talked about for the follow-up emails and text messages. And then lastly, again, the product bundle that should have a book, digital content, and your large service.
Yes, that was amazing. That was really great, Jam.
Yes, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll be coming every day with these lives between Facebook and Instagram. By Monday or Sunday, we could tell you what our actual schedule will be, but we'll have a new book every day, or we'll come back to the same book and have a new, you know, made up person that can benefit from using.
Exactly. So you guys are literally witnessing how we're implementing how to use a book to keep our leads' attention, and showing you guys along the way as well, so you guys could do the same thing. So you can get, you can take the audience assessment at amakoso.com. You will answer the survey questions and enter your name and email address to get the results sent to you. And it'll give you a breakdown of the 3 Amakoso signature books to figure out which one should be the best book for you to use to keep your leads' attention as well.
Yes, and I can tell you, I think when I took it, it was definitely the motivational quote book, which was there.
I got that one too. Yeah.
So, you know, again, we spent a few years teaching y'all why you should write a book and how to use that book that you write to benefit your business. But now we can literally teach you guys how to use books that already exist. And another way that you know this is something that's, you know, it actually works, and it's not just, hey, what are these guys doing? Every pastor in every pastor in the world uses some sort of text that they did not write to teach lessons that they live by, and people pay them thousands every week.
Period.
So just understand that this is, you know, this is the real deal, and you can utilize these things to launch your business. That's
right. All right, and can you tell us how we can get access to your services, Mr. Cassaberry?
Yes. If you want a copy of my book series, the Photo Hustler book series that I use to teach business, investing, and negotiation, you can go to hustlerbooks.com, and it'll come with a free business collaboration course for people looking to get over the next hump in their business. And if you want to work directly with me, you can go to Cassaberry.com. First, it'll have you fill out a new offer, which is a negotiation survey, which teaches you the 3 types of negotiators and the 5 biggest mistakes keeping you from landing a $100,000 negotiation and or $100,000 deal. And from there, you're able to see the results and book a call based off that, whether, you know, you had a question about negotiation or not. If you need direct access to me and or to my team, and you don't, you know, and you know it's definitely not negotiation related, you can also text us at 718-635-0585, and you'll get a response there where we can answer a question and refer you to what offer or solution best fits.
Nice. All right, and I'll make sure to have the websites linked in the description, as well as Cassaberry Consultant tagged in this post. I'm going to put it on my feed, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Right. And somebody asked, where can you find Hassan's book? It's on his website, Gains with 3 Z's, no S, fitness.com.
Yes, gainsfitness.com, 3 C's. It's also available on Amazon. The title of his book is Why Everyone Needs a Personal Trainer.
Yes. Thanks
All
again
right.
for watching. I'm Trevor Cassaberry, CEO of Cassaberry Consultant and author of the Photo Hustler book series.
And I am Akosua Cassaberry, CEO of Amakosua, and the author of Back to Me, Dear Nice Girl, and Why Every Pregnant Woman Should Write a Book.
Peace.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Oops, how do I end this?